Yeah, try and come on so you know, could pepe game park father Mula draw no yeah the bebro na fe Macau say midday yeah the bebro na Masaka say no nsia ya pound cry na say their source. So you smile to the day, get see game park, yeah pe Mula or yeah bebro. Lawyer, Patrick, walk us through. I understand it's your foundation. You know, I'm going to choose an amount.
I'm director of policy and planning for them.
Very well. So you bring more insight.
Yeah.
A former.
But I say a flooding mama man
count there.
Oh,
flooding man just
count there. Now come on. So as a back we try. What they are picking me now.
As I we want mama but
I would have picking me.
Okay, you.
Count there.
Yeah. The American say me tea akame na se bi oba me constituency wa omo a largely affected ko fo I wanna fo wom ansana ay krobofo no are largely affected it be metra ha and try to score cheap political points out of this because obi beka say ne baby a wo ka no largely NDC dominated, but I'm telling you say a lot of the junior markets, incremental, I say, a lot of them are coming from our place, and then most of them, about 43 acres of land. I just say, I wash it down. About 43 acres, completely gone. 328 people have been displaced. In Kuala, over 108 in a count.
Hey, I better know.
Me go south and price constituencies. Adoso, Pitiku, Esibone, Nkatepa, Amate, Orubon, New Jerusalem.
Wow.
Oh, it has been affected. And the worst of it, they say, Abraham, I can't cry a demo, or the because I'm way. I say. So, would the relief be quite how to even take it to these communities? And possible. Adom TV. Extra by Mr. Bay. Say, Mr. No, you want to be air coso. But, yeah, walk out today. Yes, I'm young car, yeah, not move on about oh, I'm about assessment. I'm about BBR, who share the cost involved among 4 down, I must say, chance to we are looking at about 2 million Ghana cedis. I mean, in total, the cost involved. But immediately, we need some relief items. And come to me go school because after they come back krano, ni nyina akọ. Eduani ni wa umbedi. So
the situation is critical.
I'm telling you.
I'm telling you. I want to a similar situation.
It's an emergency situation.
It's an emergency situation.
Not for
I sit on the Volta River Authority Resettlement Fund, a board no. Now, Oshe Sika Viari Edema Authority in a year, ask him. $500,000 society every year. I mean, this money, it can't do anything. You have resettled in Nkrofobi, he said, because of the dam, no? Free baby and no more. No more
we for no so many become.
So that's it. No baby. Kobna. Afi o ma sitire mu kra no. O ma kwan ye. Ayi me say even proud to side way no. Ubeko communities bit said New Jerusalem. Ayi esubone ni asefo no. Wo mo adua gye ni no kra. Even mere transformer step down. I bet me ayi na mo timi di pumping is a water pumping machine because e ben so no. Then the adua gye ni all year round no. Eno kra ma. And as how ye ni ya ba beto ye. Timi de mesre I've appealed. I've spoken to the NADMO director general.
Nana Prempe.
Me sire amount for say, one more no me moi. So and moi they boy na ye na Ghana for any so. Ye moi ni make sure say at least the pound be in high. So now ye nyai sa NDC ni MPP say moi ye this flooding issue ye. Say ye come akoye tribal cry. Ye the tribal which is dangerous for the national security of our country.
I'm sure.
It's quite dangerous for the national security of our country. It's a message. Say, ye politics in free at the ACMU. Now, ye are attending to the needs of our people. That they matter. Their lives matter. Their lives really, really matter. Most of the, some of the football stars, Christian Achu, Sedeo, Nancy, training. I mean, these are the communities that they grew up in. These are the communities that they grew up in. I'm using your medium to appeal. Say, Obi Biara, or feel say, especially to Kofo, no. Mr. Minianum Kofo, Penifua, some Mobi, said the actual ye, Yanni bit me a boy. And pay me, Nibbi Akasa, Kojosa Kamuni, Unina, say, NJB, no more wabom, no more bebois, the mattresses be, and then so be buckets, be a bit me a provider, my Indian no more. You providing my woman no now, baby, I do no, you pay Yamwa. Okay. Yamwa pa.
Now, I say, me also CD for conversation. Okay, then I say the home commander. Okay. But baby one may beat my car.
Young question.
Me know ya. Just a make him.
So we flow chair and make I when about the interest.
My Auntie Patricia, my mention movement.
Oh,
movement men.
Butterfly.
See, I can hear another movement. The movement they work.
So the butterfly movement in America, Auntie Patricia, say Alan wife.
Incoming. Okay, I said then on the same way. I did we the answer about.
Mumu 4.
I did we 12 answer.
I'm about 12.
Continuous. Until we are
12 years in opposition there. Oh yeah,
so we 4 being 8 being 12.
12 years in opposition.
I mean, said you testimony 12.
12 years in opposition another day.
I don't kind one. I just almost we almost 12 no.
I just we 12.
Then Auntie Patricia and Kuna be
because I brand the say almost me stabilize on here.
There's almost cut him off from 8.
Oh, of course. I mean, Sunday. They know it. I mean, once we take over. What's such a message was Greg and I'm saying we want.
What's today?
Oh, just Google it.
I say yeah.
Google it. Also, majority does comment on.
Now I'm saying,
I was in position for long.
My part.
Africa.
That minimum. Because was Antonio.
Auntie Patricia Africa.
Free BTV.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow.
Some people say, oh, I'm
Brian Horner.
Brian. Okay.
Any mado tete
way back any mado sik any
no to me chiama my part.
I see. Hey, Auntie Patricia say also BBC that I'm friend. BBC
one of them
oh no opega say BBC so no cover say you buy anyway we are heading for a choiceless democracy if we do not stop monetizing our politics. I say we no crowd no me say no eh
send na yen kan e dey na
you be call na me say me ba mo me hwe careful because no me dey start with bibia ni sefi anya so me refisa ko
na Alfred asa na beke
bibia ni anya so be kwai
ono asa
Alfred obey former boss na onya kukuduro timi kansa makasi sa
na so nyano go na discuss
on kwabra
wo mu nyina de bia si obi akotana konyo
unje ba how consistently the
how pa yenim
but wonya akukuduro
kwabra I think say on the politics no you know she discover brebe mu sana emwa but you see you also must look at the personality involved ebia and sometimes no be can say we don't even go and look at what precipitated say on kasa asem na waka
no matter what
correct no
o de yenye honorable patron
I'm not defending
my no matter the issue
now there be here can say mo so there o there ni there o determine
o the first question
don't worry
can say mo do me comedy no there na
we have a full time to discuss no problem this can here but the make say ya ma honorable ntiase am brasim
no I'm not justifying
no correct that say be be nyina so say
I'm not justifying anything I'm not justifying for me I mean the level of monocracy in our body politics today is something that we all must watch. Yeah, political funding. There are laws on political funding. But you and I know, say, all the major political parties, the amount of money they use in political campaigning, and yet I'm declared to electoral commission.
But I don't know does not make it right. Whichever
no, I'm saying it is not right.
Yeah.
So we need to come together as a people. Now look at even internal party structures. If the electoral commission or CDD or any other body could lead the charge. Let's look at the internal party structures. Now, one formula, NDC, MPP. Say, more parliamentary candidates are. This is a procedure to go about it. You see, the UK system is such that there's a assessment. It is, for instance, lawyers say, or no free event saying, Osino. Baby, to me, have a fund say, Uncle Ko, Uncle MP, because you are just there to represent the people in the guest house and to ubeka almost a match. But yeah, the NCC no, send ya na koye no. Hey, ufri kro so. Nipa nya disika pudu ba begu say kim. Onim say ya ai.
But edi enya.
Na say NDC primary say omo ye. Yes is a western region ho baby, just say. Odina no kofo fan krofo no ye Ghana web story bi na sika onya no in a year no. Omo ye primary no oba no kra ye hu nanim kra na. Wabeye campaign crash or yeah.
Na campaign as that.
No. You who need to go to campaign.
So we problem.
I mean, as well as the point. As for the point, okay,
do we need to encourage this? That's the bottom line. With impunity, a sitting member of parliament, kakasa, enye papa.
On radio, I'm told it's even on radio.
It's with impunity.
Well,
so much 10. Mema 20, Oma 20, Mema more.
Yeah.
Unim dollars am desi. No problem. Shumasi Ghana ukodi etiamra.
Correct. And come in.
Now the old babs have a catch there say wono when you botai. So you have over 1,000 children delegates. So me 200 make calculation. We just say we are corrupt member of parliament. Based on that I can conclude because 4-year mandate near the amount. Sikasa nkwa na odi befi. Any money on be so much on GMA. Say, I'm totally worse off.
Yeah. It's true.
The honorable became a slow. Mama, me as a source and come over so much. And also be genie, my problem. My foundation, the same.
Solidaire Ghana.
Solidaire Ghana. SOLIDAIRE.
Correct. Headmaster, what's still I don't know who.
Them teacher did.
Solidaire Ghana. Move Motinda Ben.
It's been in the system for about 2 years now.
Okay. And my office will NDC headquarters or no?
Solidaire Ghana office near NDC headquarters. Our cantonment. NDC headquarters.
No, you're part of the Solidaire Ghana is not part of the NDC.
Because NDC office now at the Brakana. Office be one in change Solidaire.
Solidaire office be and Solidaire Okromela.
Men send communa ebidi.
Don't try to do this. What are you talking about?
Men send communa.
Solidaire office Google our cantonment.
But what is your role in Solidaire?
I'm director of policy and planning.
Oza.
I'm telling you.
NDC.
I am more than fit and proper to do that.
Okay, so I understand. So it means that every discussion that goes on Solidaire platform, no, it is skewed towards the NDC. It is skewed towards the NDC. I mean, let us establish that fact. Once we have established that fact.
No.
Once we have established that fact. You are saying, sir.
I have not said anything.
It's an appendage of the NDC.
Who said that? You said it. You said that here.
Are you not NDC?
You said that here.
Are you not NDC?
What are you talking about?
Are you not
What are you talking about? You said that here.
Oh, tell him what for pen.
You said that here.
Are you not NDC?
You said I am a full member of the NDC. What are you talking about?
Interesting because your issues are done quite institute have been discussed. Almost a national discussion.
Of course. Oh, but
so that's it. And I mean, don't go there. Don't start with that.
The Institute. It's a society that is skewed towards the MPP.
Now the whole problem is
there's no problem with that. And I want him to admit, say, Solidaire Ghana now.
What are you talking about?
It's not NDC.
Who from the NDC
volunteer? Who is the head of the Solidaire Ghana?
Benjamin Esuman. They didn't know.
Okay, go Facebook. I chief of staff Akolaro.
minimum chief of staff akwala.
Oh, former chief of staff.
You see. No, I will never agree with you. I will never agree with you. As you have seen in most of the dailies, and partner with
Wadaruma.
Make your words and their way. You will not talk.
I'll make it. You
won't talk.
I'm getting
program the phones in your best phones in and I can say about a month or so, be about 2 months. And you're coming up with these ideas. We was probably lecture squad in the past. But this very one now initially you change your topic in the because now you say looking at what is happening now. Oh my, and when bad you see I think you can deep before this one. A total was a do baby sell. A man for interest in, for instance, our parliament and never more be a good trace casa or Kotakunya. At the time parliament because it's an interest in what we say. So Mr. MP ABC Nama and not owning the but interest not tell you that would trace the kind of what they are doing now. Executive day modding and you'll be in interest now that Timon and lose interest in the executive long but I come back. Back one would so much interest in the idea and I say no man. So my 9 years means that camera is your answer. And the new answer about I can on with my son on so by. So that's why you're tilting your discussion towards in strengthening our democracy. What will be the role, and what should be the role of the judiciary? Now, the 2 years when you be you can judiciary no. What the most you and I said when you man at now what you come to but justice in Justice Kwaku Said Jan, by a retired court of appeal judge, and his lordship Justice Atuba, and so. But Justice Jan, the chairman of the occasion yesterday, was the political science department of University of Ghana and the partner and ISA program. Oh, brilliant. And the school for no at some point I walked out of the hall and we could do one mountain a whole screen of students need to see them more. It's like I think it's a library if I'm not mistaken. I woman in our program not live. So it was good that students in Bibrina testify and say and Nema and no his lordship just took back all right about 24 pages speech. It was like a judgment, and some can woman or the history when the time was starting in the legal career. And the man that's see what judiciary the corruption and every other time, of course, you are born in also. No, dear by ya be doing most recent ones. I'm not saying here. He said no. See a cosman and maybe quite the and more mine. But I or Trinidad so I can't want some was that. You see, independent judiciary. But about judicial council, no, I'm a appointment the goose so who the microphone be so? What's answer be independent?
It can be.
It can be.
That's how
his main point back up. Attorney General, I am a appointee. Chief Justice, I am a appointee. We knew from our sound of 4 other people. I am a appointee. I think now, Madam Elizabeth, part of it. So if these people are part of the judicial council,
difficult.
That's also judicial independence. That's what I'm going to say. How can you get that independence? You can get it.
That's a fact.
It is a fact. What do you mean? What is it all per year? Then you move from very clean, independent people. Appointments, no, you send him and send will be
based on merit.
Correct. Based on merit and competence. Based on merit and competence. Not because my transaction one come and say you can do this for me.
Yeah.
OPK ko only my say man ko. Me adoko. So kwana wo ko no obi interest minti ana wo ko.
Yeah. They're going there for interest.
Say ni bana sem ba wa. E ba to te busa ko. Busa ho.
Yeah.
How on earth can these people are ye key appointees?
That's a fact.
Everything you sorry tia of my appointer no issue but never. Or basa mo pajaj is 20, I want 20.
That's a fact.
What do you So these were some of the concerns his lordship raised yesterday. A BM or the buyer no sambe PS at the level issue. the way you delay in fixing cases for to be heard asem no wunya pa ne atwetwanya yan fanto the list so that enu bra yan kasa no ho say asem no nyana bi atem wo mra no na asem no sin faso bi ano sati domlebo de se bra no nipa to o asa no bedan court di na delay afa ni nipa court na fie more than a year or so ansana court di anu yie ba sa kwase no bi say sa bra na de ba nto no anu yie wa yere. He asked that question there. Ovio no santi see the other end of the judge question. But was the decision of the Supreme Court that time of Don Moshe was and the one clearly. Assembly or cover judge question, the one has got nothing to do with the current trial. No. And yet the initial High Court ruling and the Supreme Court ruling
back and forth.
Was it nine seconds Supreme Court in Bumukra? Was it aba ye koto December 7 enu ho obi di nkrata atom se me pese me Ghana ni bi me de me ho amamo monye monye ma me de amamo de aka no se wo de adanse e kire se de ma na ma ho na ebre me keke na danse ne maaye fine abeduru nko bo na bato ne bre nso ye akaka na aka na boso me ansan na bato ne bre na so ana nipa no ense kan nkrata adunya ko dina so akoto aba me man for to boma no so nko dina manem wosi adentina nipa no a na ne ngrata ne meduru asat October so na isifo abi on ngrata mu no na meduru enti na woni kwa so be contest also issues with that and that this decision and was a court take and me I strongly share that view because of mine so immigration practice kakra me ma here me nimo no in fact ebre ni waka mama obi de na waka document bi no wahade application be mo be in the UK na response aba the main decision in my but in between no response na by no one said obi crafted letter no esify me hu na me yet to see one say obi so or now say ni citizenship na authority na ka say ya nyentum somebody's passport now there somebody in the back.
It is an interesting conversation over twaso.
Well,
young Komula for no home.
Emra, that's fine. No problem.
How about we can say P or more time because no opposition. Dear Kwaba. Natural plant juice on the bedjasso. 3P garlic mixture, a purely organic, a boy, a boost to immune system. No, now or high blood pressure, no, and then a year amount. High sugar levels, so bones or some ITT. I feel so bones and our food. Immediately.
What are you?
Eba, ban eba. So many people, Madapa. They will see 3P garlic mixture. Eba boy is how you there. Oh, show the check while Kanshi, Kofi Sam and Kingswalk, Kumasi, Danny Hebal and Akolinak. Who Albert Sam Heber Takra the AMS as Green Light Pharmacy. From 0248 928 824 and 0201 000 021. Na omo Kel Chaco toothpaste so body training a year bidia can see and ya bear for quasi a day poison. Very important. So kona could this grana the upper portion papa a Kel Chaco toothpaste. Another quality product from Samara Company Limited. Namakasa admission is still in progress. St. Andrews SHS, Onuguso Oni Digimason Kodebo Yenina, BC for Amupa Kwenyako SHS. Offer 0244 6969 11 and 020 789 1004. No, to know Nakasa. One Kabatani do a sinful Su and cry Hanum say, Afe Mankasim, Shama, Savia Sangineso, New Dubiase, and a Dunkwa on the fame. Studio ade nimnya for OPK Davis Opoku anafi lawyer Chum Berima ane wa edi enkomo lawyer di fa enkomo no kona fi OPK na bi malawyer afra ntina fi OPK
kasa America sana so hawan
yeah koso
kasa dodo
yeah koso the next 5 minutes fa kona fi OPK
o my ento asa nti said na manegusu na America
yeah
his lordship actually mu ebesi said the Supreme Court erred in the decision of Judge question and that enye ba bi ase confirm asem no pompo so na ye de awie ewo high court judge na o share the case of Senator Rollins and near match a case mu a tell say high court judge na mu kan he heard because that case not trust so would be asem na se constitutional matter pie mu a here interpretation wo court na would be asem wontimi nkyerem nti emfa wo pen nkyerem mu ne mum twentwen so na kwaji nkyerem mu free the appellate court the court no what timi so bi makyerem the supreme court no kono nkyɛn kwaji nkyerem mu ebra na wo nkyerem no ba wi ansa na wo bedi wasem na so wo nkyerem na aba bedi wasem in the case of Judge Question ankoyesa oman ana judge no ebu aten obu na ten wie no ekupi mo court of appeal ehon so angosi bibiara and supreme court but we the ruling na ya from what his lordship has dissected nram indeed entry ama ye nua pani no na se ofa no gina pen ne ednam say decision yi so edna bi gina no oman awreho and yan hwe ye bedi rabi no ye nya ye nuanum bi asebita fra cha omwo ahotose se bia makotena ba bia akobɔ bra no bi amin ko fie nso na ko se de fie nso ko bo fie nso ebi no ma e boy in that capacity because omra ne de bi se na ebe san kan kom omra ne bi se ntansan bi se na ba be hia no akobra eni je ni san omma na sebita fra jeni ban se ba bi na nyi se bi na nyi na ho na tere no na tere bi a wa no tia ehia so be ko fie so ko bo fie fo what does it what in this nkyanya is not if san kan asem fufuro bi wo se ya no tere bi a sefim se obi hu na ye appointment in the judiciary ye bo e bia OPK is now oguzu ye law automatically omu ye metume no me senior then now me senior bo tane abo OPK even me ni nya ba judge otena na me ye judge jano o man ni abo ne dia traw
nti ya o ne ebufu
correct ya bo ne dia traw na senior ho na junior be san ho na junior na abaye ebi akɔrɔ appeal judge no no gusi be high court ho and our baby I mean name it
enfa bu kramba
correct so what I say
oh
can say when I'm telling you I mean and you see he has spent 44 good years in the judiciary or in the bench 20 something years at the Supreme Court 81 million so what I say he knows what he's talking about and I'm on my chronology of history from 1970 something no there's a free by ya ba events that has happened in the past man dear busy at time okay can you now
to summon up there now e will take
so in summary yeah can I say it is time that governments coming up to look at these things that have been cited appointments of justices it was said okay I will land on his point because they should be appointed on merit and competence not because of merit and competence what and also thing was see we are all calling for independent judiciary. And we can only get that when government doesn't get involved. But today, government's hands are in it. It's
not possible.
Or Kasafa from the parliament is on the whole issue. Was say you see a parliament no not mean check executive year. That is a core mandate of parliament. Come on. How can I check you if you are part of me?
I said, Tim Hokrav, I should be distinct.
So that's it. Me no one to work.
But you know, I can't.
Of course, me a minister, me MP. Constitution says 60% of your ministers must come from parliament.
Which is wrong.
Which is very wrong. Not even 10% should come from there.
So the independence of the legislature and the crown.
Anyone, there's nothing like that. Anyone, 60%. So list them. Honorable also MP,
of course,
we minister, Makwata MP, we minister, Miami MP, minister, name them.
Minister,
name them. It will no on try on check on one. It's not possible.
You make problems.
Yes, so he's calling for change.
Did we miss out that opportunity, Nebra? Professor will share area Atubiga. Only the Atuguba.
It didn't Atuguba, not Atubiga. We Atuguba, we Atuguba, they are cousins. Yeah.
Or share and say, Omunkoye, Onyom ladies.
1 year, argument. They spent, wait 1 second. They spent $6 million in doing that job.
What?
6 million, 3 million, I mean, physical liquid asset. And then other fiscal assets, so we quit to monitor them. Then it's 3 million. So $6 million was used in doing that constitutional review job no year in 2010. Don't forget, independent was going to be inclusive.
Opinion nakasa na emide say the NDC as a political party no and as appendages of the NDC, I've realized that they need to set up civil society organizations to shape the political discussion of our country. I mean, it happens everywhere. You can talk of Dankwa Institute. Obianim said Dankwa Institute, is aligned towards the MPP.
What can name?
I mean, as a Oko Germania, Friedrich Ebert Foundation, Frederick Norman Foundation, they are all aligned towards a political
ideology.
In the US, a Republican Party, institution, your friend IRR, Institute of Republican, International Republican Institute, and Democrat, IDI, Democratic Institute. It is clear, say, Mate Solidaire Foundation, and I say Solidaire Institute. I think that I want to commend them. Then the opportunity for His Lordship Justice Atubiba to express himself on some pertinent national issues. I think that we need more of that. We need more of such discussions to because he's been a Supreme Court judge before. The experiences ne the wakomu no eno na ogina so edeka ne nsem. Enra utie papa no nkomo nyina clearly you realize that at the Supreme Court level decisions that are taken sometimes there are some political considerations.
Loads of them.
And in the 2012 petition copy court now, you realize that and some of the decisions are taken here, people disagreed with them. But he, as a Supreme Court judge, had reasons in here he would take that particular part. So that's it. But in all, you cannot sit at a Supreme Court at the Supreme Court and decide say it is just purely law. Because you are clothed with the powers in sustaining the very democracy. Even a more advanced democracy like the United States. Till today, it is the president that appoints people onto the Supreme Court of the United States bench. To be whom Donald Trump in the time now he was trying to make sure say he will fill the various vacancies on the bench. I really don't know the reason towards it. But that is how our constitution is couched. Mitiana may share UK for system to see. And once a constitution, 1992 constitution idea, a blend of both the UK and the US.
But I am more of US.
So we need to look at the merits and demerits of some of the decisions that you're taking. The decision as to say the president is the person to appoint people onto them. But there are guidelines. There are laid down procedures as to NIPA or qualify or be a lawyer. For instance, Nansea Papaya or more appointing Johnny Kulendi. He was a lawyer, but straight out, they didn't go to Mamia Notcha Dio, University of Ghana, Professor Henrietta Mensah Bonsu. Or no, you could now straight and you didn't call Supreme Court. Because it is within a certain laid down procedure. If Professor Justice Atuguba is now complaining of the processes, I think because he has sat there before, I don't know how he got onto the Supreme Court, but because
he know bench and the bar and
the president appointed him.
Of course,
I'm saying
so it's part of the process. All the challenges with the process.
And this comes to there's a need to amend certain portions of our constitution.
Of course,
we need to make certain things clear. You see, he spoke about Jasikwesi and Jachikwesi. And for me, my position on this matter is that people or Ghanaians who have gone to study, live their lives in abroad, they should be allowed to serve in parliament.
Until from day one.
Yes, they should be allowed in parliament. Because for me, we need a certain scale. We need a certain qualities to serve nation Ghana. So that's it. And so be akosuya for instance, Professor Lote ya na kane so astronaut na say. Na Professor Lote ban also be serve in parliament. Yes, because he owes allegiance to another country in internal. Yeah, allow no man in service. when advanced democracies are aye duma etime gina o man so be do some pempenso way, they are allowing such practices. And also Canada, Canada Prime Minister, okay, dual citizen, or American instance or a Canadian citizen. Former Prime Minister of British, Boris Johnson. No, American, SIA. So that's it. And then most of the key government institutions are in free. One of the best run institutions in Ghana, NCA. I'm sure say he holds some other. So if somebody with a dual citizen can manage the nerve center of our country, why can't such a person sit in parliament? And we are using such a law to punish, prevent people from occupying such positions anyway. So for me, it's a wonderful discussion, and the bit about the Supreme Court delaying on matters are here immediate attention. I think that because you see, if you look at it from the other side now, for instance, Papaya Domelevu, Sebio, you can't ask him, and he's a free man. I mean, he feels he's vindicated.
Yeah,
but probably maybe we might have denied Ghana some opportunity to a. So that's it. It made a message. Say some of these commentaries, when it comes out now, we should see the politics out of it and look at yesterday a lawyer they say name the statement or they say name. I tried reading at night.
24 pages.
I want to finish.
If it's a book case video, more person the customer or more full reference.
But you see, the place I disagree a bit with him is that, I mean, Supreme Court decisions, no, yes, but in decisions of the Supreme Court, especially on this Jechukweshin case, no, they also cited precedents and laws to support it. So to use
and there's automatically you see that
to use words of it says scandalous, I think.
Well, I think that the scandalous is not
for instance,
but the effect of it
in a position where you have sat before, no. So that's it.
You should measure.
You should be measured
as much as you are criticizing.
Yes, you criticize and all of that. And I feel, say, it's about time we create an opportunity where even past justices of the court can be relating, yes, so that they can be sharing experiences and all of that.
I think they will definitely do that. That one day.
Because
behind the scenes, I'm sure.
A jumba kwan, you do koshemwa. Ya how pa nisi aya judge.
We need social life. We need social life.
Who needs social life? Who could be mukra na chese? Why are you careful? Because who can't say Kim.
Asama okay. Minimijaj be our course of marketing. We rush marketing na or to the ordinary and I'm telling you tadia. Anna obi a wedding assembly. On what on kind pan. I approach you. Oh my lord. Not chiano. I said, oh, on kind of so me not saying this. I said, oh, okay. Na I hire no so shop on your own shop. I said, one occasion, I never money and go on Pinko.
And even the conditions of judges, no? They retire on their salary, the state gives them accommodation and all of that. I mean, we want.
Cut off.
Yeah, cut off, completely cut off.
What do you mean,
and Obi Betran radio so no criticize the court now, so Obi can't send BTA court now. You are charged with contempt. So that's it. So if you have been a former justice of the court, now you feel that there are issues that needs to be addressed. Using words like scandalous and all of that, for me,
that's another angle.
I disagree.
But very revered.
We need to, yes, we need to critically take a look at the statement now I'm making. Now,
maybe I'm more interested. Maybe the Supreme Court, more or less, a policy-making court. Oh, because no man will a banner would delay. No farmers soon be brave. How do you want Jana to
or can you have a certain and I'm not easy? I course. Yeah, was it as someone I'd never tried second. Now, did I was 70 and was
painful. I don't know how you
around Kenya, Kenya system is such that I think until say the court is given a certain period to sit on the matter, and afterwards, It's also na say Uhuru Kenyatta and Omode is a call ya. I mean, they called ruled before the swearing in.
Oh, say now you say na besa. The answer na read you said it was faster than the 2013
yes, but Enokrano still na President Akufo-Addo was still there. I mean, it was after January 7th.
Yeah,
but I'm saying that if we could extend, probably maybe bring elections to, let's say, November 7th.
Decided by 7th. Before 7th.
Before 7th, before the swearing in. It helps. Yeah. Because you see, a certain president.
Suggestion about
yeah, try it. Yeah, time. And get the bus and come on massive. And I need
yeah, me say
yeah, time, yes. And the 2016 yeah. And come on November 7th instead
so
of
that we take our time to look into the matter.
But
come back again.
That said, we need a lot of constitutional amendments. I mean,
a lot.
From 1992 to date, over 30 years, I mean, some of our laws have become there's a need to amend them. For instance, the decision to appoint ministers from parliament. Is one
okay,
thing.
Okay, so Mr. Millicent Aya, London, and your birthday 40 years. Into Omano, say you are a sweet mom, can say, or you're a pa, and if you bass say a finest friend. So happy birthday, Millicent Aya, London. Yeah, because I say happy birthday to you. Let us say, foundation, your money is strong, still there. Na Bibianco Kama, na more important national issues. No problem. Thank you.